right here is our EMS captain. He goes out on like cardiac arrest or CPRs.
Okay.
So that's what his call.
So you have different trucks for the different types of calls?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Of course, we got the fire truck. Our station doesn't. We don't have a big ladder truck here.
Right.
But we got an ambulance, and on the other side back there, we got a boat. So, like during Harvey,
For Harvey,
when the flood,
right?
we were able to get in our boat. Go out.
So that's the first aid, CPR, cardiac arrest car.
He's actually a captain. So.
He's a captain, okay. So what are your different roles?
So here we've got 2 captains, and then we got 2 drivers, and then 3 firefighters. And our firefighters, there'll be 2 in the back of the fire engine, and then 1 in the back of the ambulance. So we rotate. Everybody but the captains and the drivers rotate. So.
On the calls that you go out on, or
No,
on
like
your shift?
Every shift.
Okay.
So we work 24 hours a day. And of course, you guys know it's 7 days a week.
Right.
We never stop.
Right.
So we work 24 hours, so 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. And then we're off, and then another 24, and then we're off for a few days. So we work about 48 hours a week.
So do you guys get a call within a 24-hour period? What's the most typical amount of calls you get?
Usually we're right around probably 40 for the station.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of calls.
Now that's between the 3 different units.
Right.
But yeah, around 40, 15.
Guys, it was explaining to me that what the different units work for. One of them is for like cardiac arrest or CPR. The other one obviously for fire. And then
We got the ambulance, and we go on anything and everything. So earlier we got a guy that got hit by a car on his bike, or a fall. Someone fell down in their bathroom. So really anything. So we do it we're problem solvers. So
what do you guys usually do if you don't get a call? Like, what is typical
there's
day?
a lot of training. There's keeping up with paperwork, things like that. A lot of people don't know, but we mow our grass. We do all that stuff. So we're janitors, electricians. We do it all.
So how many of your staff are volunteers, not on payroll?
We don't have any volunteers anymore.
Oh, okay.
So there's 7 of us assigned here, but yeah, we're all paid.
What's the funniest call you ever got?
Funnest?
Funniest.
Funniest.
Oh man. Like out there.
Interesting one.
That last one was a little funny.
Someone stole his DVD player on his suit, his backpack, and when they grabbed it off his arm, it didn't hurt his arm, but he was feeling sad about his thing being stolen. So we went ahead and looked at his arm.
Oh, wow.
For
Don't
him,
call
that was
like
a
that, guys.
10 out of 10 pain. So we do pain scales, 1 being not bad, 10 being the worst. You'd be surprised everybody's range is different.
Hopefully that's not something.
Cannonballs
They're
flying.
right
You'll
there,
know in
they
30
do to
seconds.
keep the birds away.
Okay.
What's the most challenging part about being a firefighter?
I would say thinking on the fly. Just you got to think quick, make decisions that could be life altering for other people. But you have to make it, and once you make the decision, you got to stick with it.
So obviously whatever made you guys decide to become a firefighter, whatever the reason that was, would you do it all over again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm a 3rd generation firefighter, so it's been in my family for almost 70 years now.
So I can see you're a captain,
Firefighter.
firefighter? Firefighter, okay. So you're pretty much their boss.
Well, today I am. This isn't my normal station, but
Okay.
but they have me working here because they were the regular captain's not here today, so they have me filling in his spot. But I actually started volunteering in my small town where I grew up while I was going to college, and a friend of mine, was on with the volunteer fire department over there, and they didn't. It wasn't paid; it was purely volunteer and everything like that. And I joined them and kind of got a experience doing that. And then once I graduated college, I was looking for a job, and I decided to try out for Houston Fire Department, and it's worked out well. I really like it, and it's nice to be able to, help out the community, and you always have a different calls. Emergency calls are, not the same. Wide variety of things, and you get to, do a wide variety of things. So that's what I like it.
So our organization has something that's called Pathfinders and Master Guides, where we train our teenagers and young adults to serve the community, and we'll also train them to do a lot of community work like you guys do. Like this guy over here was on the news because he was out with a raft.
Oh, wow.
Getting people out last year during Harvey.
That's great.
And so we kind of train our young adults to do things like that. But it's obviously, lay people, not like you.
Right.
What kind of education do you guys get to become an actual firefighter?
You gotta go to the academy.
Going through the academy, the city sets forth a basic minimum requirements. It changes from time to time. When I came in, you had to have at least 60 hours of college credits
Okay.
or military time.
Okay. 60 hours.
For me,
I think it's now it's like 24.
Okay.
I think they've cut down the requirements. So yeah, you can. And correct me if I'm wrong. If you go to a fire academy, don't they let those hours count towards it now? I think they might have changed that. I think so. So there's a couple different ways you can go to like a fire academy on your own. Like pay for a fire academy. They have College of Mainland, Lone Star. Does it have one? HCC has a fire academy. So you can. So there's a bunch of them around here, but you can sign up and go through their fire academy, and then you can try to get. And then after you go through the fire academy, you take your EMT course, become an EMT. In the state of Texas, you have to be EMT to be a firefighter.
Okay.
Then you get a state commission. You're commissioned by the state of Texas as certified as a firefighter. So after that, then you can apply to different fire departments that are hiring.
Okay.
And that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is just some of the larger departments will hire you without having any fire experience or having any fire, having your certification. So you don't have to have your certification, and then they'll put you through fire academy and get you certified and stuff like that.
Okay.
Some of your smaller departments, like whether it's like the Woodlands or Katy or Sugarland or wherever, they're going to probably hire. They're not going to put on their own academy. They're going to hire somebody that's already gone to fire academy and already has their certification, firefighter certification through the state. Some of your bigger cities, like Dallas. Does Dallas do a long track?
I believe so.
Some of your larger cities, will have a long track class where they put you through their fire academy.
So you said you no longer have volunteers. Is this because there's a lack of volunteers, or the city did away with volunteers for firefighters?
Well, there used to be like a little small division of them, but generally in larger cities,
You don't have that.
and even medium-sized cities, there's just there's not the demand for service meaning the calls gets larger and larger, and you just don't have as many people that are able to respond 24/7.
Okay.
So where I grew up, it's a small town. in East Texas, and it was about less than 8,000 people for the whole town. And we had one fire station, and it was reliant, and it's still reliant on volunteers. And the more calls you have, the bigger amount of people, the more people you need to have there all the time. And while the people that were volunteers, we did a great job, and they were very dedicated and stuff like that. The difference between that is here there's someone all over, not just someone, there's a group of trained professionals that's ready to respond to an emergency 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Sure.
At its most basic level, I would say that the fire departments in general, or whether it's police or whoever, we're not at its most basic level, on the very basic level, we're there to be able to respond immediately, because there's volunteers that will go do it, but they don't necessarily have the training, and you can't always count on someone always being there to go do that. So because people have jobs, they got to take care of their family and their community and stuff like that. So.
I was 34 when I joined the fire department. I was on staff at a church full time, and working 7 days a week. I was worn out. We only work 2 days a week.
But I'm sure you work hard.
Yeah. Well, it's so a normal work week is 40 hours. We work 46.7. So it doesn't sound like it's a whole lot, but you definitely you make up for your hours because it's a 24-hour
shift.
Shift. Yeah.
So in order to qualify as a firefighter, do you need to take some type of fitness test?
Yeah, they do have they have a fitness requirement. The fitness test usually consists of basic. I don't know if
they have you walk a beam, see if you got balance.
I don't know if do they still have that? They might. They used to have it. I know what you're talking about. It goes like this. They have you, do a pulling a dummy to simulate a victim, raising a ladder, that kind of stuff, and you have to run 1.5 miles in a certain amount of time. I think it's what is it now?
I think it's like 15 minutes.
15?
Yeah.
I think it's 15, and then once to actually pass, it's like 13:07. So ultimately, you have to run 1 mile in 13:07, but and that's just to get in, and then once you're in academy, you're doing PT every morning and running like lots and lots and lots, and doing a lot of physical training and stuff like that. So they have the physical agility test to begin with, and then when you're in academy, they have you doing all kinds of.
Do you have to take it again, or just that one time?
Multiple times throughout the academy.
In academy, yeah, but to get hired, I think they have one to get hired, and then multiple times, like every, so often.
What would be that one thing that you would regret of being a firefighter?
One regret. Well, I don't know.
Sometimes I regret they put me on the calendar right after the academy. I was in good shape. And everybody calls me calendar boy. I'm a big old fat man.
How long does it take you to get into your gear?
You're supposed to be able to get into it in under 2 minutes.
Okay.
Which I think everybody, at least you can usually get into it a little quicker than that. But that isn't just getting into your gear, that's getting it on and then actually breathing air. So getting your boots on, your gear on, your mask on, your hood on, your helmet on, and turning your bottle on and breathing air. So that's the standard.
How much is that weight? All that equipment?
85 pounds.
Yeah, something like that.
85 pounds?
Yeah, and that fluctuates depending on if you're carrying high-rise stuff, just the stuff you're carrying, not what you're wearing, but just stuff you're carrying alone can be a lot.
So no matter your weight gain, you're in good condition. I mean, you're loading 85 pounds.
I'm strong, just not good looking.
Well, I'm sure you guys have any more questions? Any other questions, guys? Well, this is probably half of the youth group of our church. And we really appreciate the work you guys do.
No problem.
And,
Thank you.
I know I have a bunch of questions that I could ask you guys.
How much you weigh?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
This is air pack.
I did, but you know.
You want to try it? Come on.
Hey, hold it.
Come on. You asked.
Okay. Are you supposed to like go up a ladder?
Running with-
go
Yeah.
run around?
This is the gear I wear plus that if you want to see how.
Oh my goodness, open it. Come on, Carlos.
Let me see
Put
the
it
same
on.
motherfucker.
That's just the most basic.
It's too much heavier than my face.
Both of them.
That's my helmet and my coat
So,
and pants and
It's the
boots.
same than my motherfucker.
So what we have sometimes is a gas leak. Like the other day, we had a gas leak under the urine. You know, you got a natural gas, and it'll be, gas leak. And what happens is you need to dig down to the gas leak and try to plug it up. So because it's a natural gas leak, you're supposed to be in full gear. So if you have an apartment or something like that, and it's a long hose lay or something like that, you have to. So you wear that just like a backpack, and
And carry and haul that hose.
yeah.
Yeah,